Hey, what's up you guys, it is Aaron from Aaron Thinks Different and welcome to another video on my channel. This video is going to be a bit different than the previous videos I posted on my channel because my channel is not only about coding and tech stuff, but it's also about self-development and meaningful things. So as you can already tell by the title, this video is going to be about the 5 things that I learned through COVID-19. And it's not that I was infected by COVID so far, hopefully it will stay the same because I don't want to get that infection and I don't want to talk too much about COVID in general on this video here because there are so many opinions about this topic and I don't want to cover them all. But I wanted to talk to you about the 5 things that I learned so far through this whole lockdown worldwide. The first thing is that we have to learn that we don't take the time for granted with our loved ones. Because before COVID, we could go to our loved ones anytime we wanted. We could go to our parents, our friends, or whoever we wanted to meet. It was just always possible. And there were so many times that we said, I don't have time right now, I don't want to go there with you, I don't want to meet you right now because I don't want to. I mean, it's totally fine. But at some point we have to remember that it is so important to spend the time with our loved ones and that the time is not just for granted. So right now we are all in the same situation where we can't go and visit our parents as often as we like to, or visit our friends or meet with a couple of friends all together right now because of COVID. And I think this is a very important fact that I learned through this whole pandemic thing worldwide. And I hope that I will remember this fact even after everything ends once. The second thing that I learned through COVID is that we have to learn to take time. Because I think every one of you knows it, that even before COVID, we all had this idea of making a side hustle, building our own business, starting a new hobby, starting a fitness lifestyle, or becoming a good cook, or whatever it might be. We all had this one thing that we always wanted to do and wanted to start, but we always said like, I don't have the time right now because I have so many things to do. And since COVID started, many of the people who have to stay at home didn't start the stuff that they never had time before. And right now we are all in the same boat, and I think many of us have now the time to start the stuff, but many of us don't do it. And why don't we do it? Because all the times we said, I don't have time for that, it were just excuses. And we have to learn to not make too many excuses to start something, to develop ourselves, whether it be with a hobby or a fitness or whatever. And I think this is also very important, and we have to learn, I think the whole society has to learn to take time and not to make time, because you don't have to make the time. Either you take it or you don't take it. And we have to learn to say, okay, right now is the time that I want to take and that I want to spend in something, in a project or in my fitness or in whatever. And I think this is also very important to remember even after COVID and right now where we are in the worldwide pandemic lockdown. You have the time, and that means that you have to start right now with whatever you always wanted to do but found so many excuses before COVID. The third thing I learned through the worldwide pandemic is that we have to be thankful for our health system. I know that there are many countries that might handle the COVID stuff different than other countries, and that's totally fine because I don't think that there's the right way to do it, because there are so many ways that you could handle this pandemic. And if we are in Europe or in the US, there is a pretty good health system so far. I mean, in other countries it might be better than in the other one, but at all there are many third world countries where the health system is way worse than ours. And this is something we have to keep in mind, that we could or that we should be thankful for what we have right now, because otherwise it would be worse, believe me. The fourth thing I learned through COVID is that we have to take more time to go into the nature, to explore what is outside of our house or of other houses. Since the pandemic started like nearly a year ago in Germany, I started to go out way more often than I used to. And by going out, I don't mean to meet friends or drink something anywhere. I mean like I go on hikes. I explored so many forests And I even developed a new hobby by doing geocaching. I never tried it before, but since we weren't able to do anything else, I discovered geocaching again after knowing it for like 10 years already. But yeah, well, I downloaded the app on my iPhone and I went on geocaching tour with my girlfriend, and we had so much fun. We just explored so many new places all around us where we always lived, and we had always the opportunity to go there, but we never did. And I think this is something we have to keep in mind even after the whole pandemic thing ends, that we take more time to go into the nature and to explore the world outside of our houses and outside of the normal activities we like to do. And the last thing that I learned through COVID is that we have to remember that traveling, going to the cinema or going to the gym and everything is not just for granted, because it is always a great opportunity for us to do this stuff. Especially if you live in the US or in Europe, where you normally can travel like anywhere you want to, because you have your passport and then you can travel to countries where you like to travel. But right now we are faced with the fact that we can't travel, like go on vacation or anything. And after this whole pandemic thing ends, we have to be grateful and thankful for the opportunities to go into the cinema or to travel to different countries, or even in your country to travel to different cities. So this is not something that is actually for granted, and especially right now. And I think these are 5 things and 5 facts about the pandemic that are very, very worthy of the impact of our life. And I think these 5 facts are very, very impactful of how we should treat our life and our thoughts after this pandemic thing ends. And even right now, there were some tips that I gave you to start something and to do something with the time that we all have right now because of the lockdowns in several countries. So these are the 5 facts that I learned so far. If you have thought about the same stuff that I already mentioned in this video, or if you have thought about different stuff, please put it down in the comments below that I can read it and maybe we can discuss about the stuff. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and hopefully we will see each other in the next video. Thanks for clicking into this video, and bye!